Hi, I'm Terry Allen, and today we're talking with Tasha. We are going over her testimony, and we're going to talk about her battle with fibroids, where this is preparing, leading up to our big event, the No More Secrets Women's Discussion on Fibroids on July 7th at Truman Medical Centers. So Tasha, tell us a little bit about yourself.
I am a 47-year-old female, as you can see. I have two kids that I had natural childbirth with. Grandmother, awesome sailor, 5 years old, and just love helping families with my services that I do, and just also like giving information whenever I can.
Absolutely. Great. So Tasha battled with fibroids, so I would say, what, about 25 years?
25 years.
Yeah.
That's
So
correct.
tell us, what were your first symptoms? I guess go back some years, but what were your first symptoms?
The first symptoms was I was having really long periods where instead of 3 to 5 days, they would be 7 to 10. And then it would be some discomfort doing sex or whatnot. But my doctor was like, oh yeah, you have some fibroids, but we can put you on some birth control and that'll help with those symptoms or whatnot. So to replay with all that, we 20 years later, and
What happened?
we still got these fibroids. I'm just saying, like, they ain't gone nowhere. So I go back to the doctor. This is a different doctor now. You know, my kids are grown, like 25, 26, and I'm like, okay, the symptoms haven't subsided. They haven't done anything. They've actually gotten worse. So now I'm at 3 to 5 day periods, but they are a whole lot heavier. So now I'm using more pads, having to wear 2 pads just to make sure that I can not, embarrass myself when I'm out in public. Even reminding myself of being at work, and I worked with a lot of men at the time, and having to go home where I actually bled through my clothes. And once I told my doctor about that, she's like, you are hemorrhaging, because they kept trying to figure out why I was losing so much blood. And my iron count was like extremely low. Like, they would take my iron for something else, and they're like, your iron is just like too low. Like, we don't even know how you functioning. Your iron is so low.
Wow.
So after dealing with that, I just went ahead and talked to the doctor and was like, okay, listen, what can we do?
Right.
Because I'm not having any more kids. I don't want the pain anymore. What can we do? And she ultimately did ultrasound. She did those a couple times, and she just kind of gave me options. And I took the option of doing a Da Vinci procedure, and I'm telling you, it was the best thing that I could actually do.
So let's talk about that. What is the Da Vinci? Like, what is
the way that my doctor explained it was like she playing a video game inside of me.
Wow.
And that is where she did 4 incisions in my abdomen, one on the right and 2 in the middle and then 1 on the left. And what happens is the little incisions, they place, I'm not sure what it is, but they place the devices inside of you, and she plays the video game on a screen, and she sees the fibroids and whatnot, and what happens is she sucks them out.
So it's like a robot that
Yes.
she's operating?
Right, and it sucks them out. I actually went on YouTube before I had the procedure,
Right.
and saw it for myself just to see, how it would be. And after having it, I'm telling you, my whole quality of life has changed. My iron has gone up because I'm not having them long, drawn out periods.
Sure.
And then, too, I'm not having the pain, because I had a grapefruit size fibroid on the back of my spine, like back here.
Wow.
So I had arthritis in my back, my lower vertebrae. So in my mind, I was thinking that was causing the pain. But in fact, it was the fibroid.
And it was grapefruit size.
Yeah.
Wow.
You think about a grapefruit.
Yeah.
And then, you think about a grapefruit laying on you. I mean, and if
The
you get,
pressure.
yeah, and then also too, you know, they shift. The fibroids shift depending on your activities, whatever it is that you're doing on a daily basis. You know, whether you having, okay, we won't get animated.
Sure.
But
Sure.
whether you having good sex, bad sex, you know,
Right.
entertain, you know, whatever, they shift, and then you could be in pain for days. And I've had my aunt, and you know, she would tell me, "Oh, just pull up on the ledge of the sill of the door, and then that'll pop them back in place."
Right.
I ain't never heard of nothing like
Like
that
a
in my life.
stretch.
Right, stretching your body out, and I mean, it helped, but in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, so maybe she has dealt with this too, and nobody's really talked to her about it.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I'm glad that you're having this event, because if I had known what I know now, 20 years later, I mean earlier, I wouldn't have had to go through as much pain as I did for 20, 25 years.
Right.
You know?
Right.
And I know we talk about getting pap smears and mammograms and all those different things, but are we diligent in doing it?
Absolutely.
Are we really diligent at doing it? You know, the mammograms, they send you a letter. They ain't sending no letters for pap smears. You know what I mean?
You're right. You're right.
They're not sending no letters. So it's imperative that we as black women get checked out yearly. And even if that means saying, hey, maybe I need to get an ultrasound just to see. Because I don't know how the procedure goes with just getting a pap smear, because they can't always see it.
Right.
You know, with a pap smear.
So your quality of life after so you ended up with the Da Vinci was a full hysterectomy?
No, it's a partial.
Partial.
So I still have my ovaries.
Good.
But when I tell you, I was supposed to be down for like 6 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
After having the Da Vinci, I was probably down 2 days.
That's awesome.
And I didn't do a whole lot, but I was up and out. I wasn't picking up laundry baskets and doing all those different things or whatever, but I still was able to maneuver, you know what I'm saying? I wasn't tied down to no pain meds.
Right.
I didn't have to do all that. I took pain meds one day, and one, I didn't like what it did to me.
Yeah.
And then two, I just wasn't in no pain, you know? So I'm grateful for that procedure.
Absolutely. And that's good to hear that, you know, it was a success.
Oh yeah.
You know,
oh yeah.
and it was no pain, and that's what we want people to realize. I think women are maybe afraid. They're thinking that it's going to be, you know, whatever they're thinking, it's going to be painful, and they're going to be down for so
Right.
long, and afraid to have a hysterectomy.
Right.
But most cases are successful, and
Right.
your quality of life after
Right.
is so great, so phenomenal.
Yeah.
Like most people are please take them at this point.
It's more about, I mean, you have a value in your life afterwards, because when you walking around with pain, with fibroids or any other type of pain for that matter, you just don't want to do nothing. You know what I'm saying? You're not really trying to live your wholesome life.
Right, and especially if you're bleeding like that,
Right.
you definitely.
I ain't trying to go nowhere.
Right.
You know,
Right.
and so it's really, I mean, really, the technology that we have now is so much better than what we had before.
Right.
Therefore, the fear shouldn't be there because of the new technology. You know, they're not cutting on us like they was doing the C-sections and all that. They don't do that anymore. I imagine if you have to have it, then that's a case-by-case exception. But for the most part, I mean, those 4 incisions, they actually I left the hospital with Band-Aids.
Wow, that is great.
Really, Band-Aids. So, yeah, it's definitely, I would recommend it. I would recommend it. Not to let it go too long, not to lose any more of your life on painful periods, heavy periods, painful sex, any of that. If you're not sure, I would say get checked.
Get checked. Absolutely. That's what I was going to say. If you're getting any type of those symptoms,
Right.
the heavy periods, the pain, like Tasha said, any of those, get checked out, go see your doctor, and also take control of your health.
Exactly.
You know, sometimes you might be misdiagnosed for something
Exactly.
else.
Exactly.
But if, you know, follow, usually your gut is right. If something
yeah.
is telling you
Yeah.
that something is not right down there,
Yeah.
then follow your gut. Take control of your health.
Right.
Take control. You got to be responsible for your health. Well, Tasha, thank you so much for talking to me and telling us about this. Last thing, so what advice would you give any women that may be having these symptoms and are fearful?
I would say the first step would be go get checked. We as black women, we don't get all the education that we need when it comes to our health. We know to go get birth control. We know that we may have a baby and you know you got to take care of your baby. But if I could say anything, take care of you first. That means go to the doctor, have them do whatever it is that you want them to do. Because at the end of the day, the doctor works for you. You don't work for the doctor. So you tell the doctor, hey, this don't feel comfortable to me. Hey, this don't seem right. Hey, this don't look right. And a lot of times you may get a doctor that, you know, he feel like he has the most knowledge, but you know your body better than he do. So if I can say anything, get yourself checked.
Great advice. Thank you for watching. Be sure, y'all, to join us in the conversation. You can join us on social media. No More Secrets, women's discussion on fibroids, on all social media. Terri Allen Fitness website, Terri Allen social media as well. And come out to the event. If you're watching this video and you're thinking, maybe, we are going to have fibroid expert doctors there as well to give you more advice and details of some symptoms and the new treatments that are out now for fibroids. So be sure to come out. Truman Medical Centers, Hospital Hill, and Lakewood. Come out and come out to the event on July 7th, Saturday, 2 p.m.